My name is Carter Turner with Mossy Pond Retrievers. Been throwing birds with Brad for 10, 15 years and I always knew I wanted a part, but went to college and now going on 6 years of full-time training at Mossy Pond. So I always grew up with dogs, with hunting dogs, and knew I've always wanted to compete. Finally got the dogs I needed to be able to compete at the level I wanted to. Kept growing and ready to venture out and keep growing as a handler myself and also tackle on this Crown Championship. I knew that I had some very talented dogs, and if I do my job and as much as I've practiced over the past winter since I've gotten them, that we can actually do it. Beginning of the year, I was very nervous, very nervous. Every time I got out there, I was about chewing the whistle in half because I didn't want to make the mistake. I didn't want me to be the problem. And as I've kept growing through the sport, and I ran 14 events, so somewhere around the halfway point, I'd get up there and I'm smiling, having a good time, because it was second nature, second hand. And I think that's going to be a big factor going into the Crown. Is I've run so many events this year that I'm about like some of them veterans now. I just don't have the Crown experience yet. I'm confident. I know I'm going up there and I got one job. When I leave here, headed to Shreveport, I'm going to win, and that's all it's going to be. So I'm very confident. I'm sure there'll be some nerves when I finally get there and the cameras start rolling and the dogs are like, well, it's actually live time, but it's what we practiced all year for, so there ain't no time to be nervous now. Winning the Crown has meant that we have finally paid off all the hard work throughout the year. We've also got to know we've got to get right back to work for next year. Every competition, you leave with two things, a ribbon and a lesson. And the most important thing you leave with is a lesson. You should leave with both if you're doing it right. The biggest thing I've learned though is to get to the line and slow down. Because if I move fast, the dogs are going to move fast. But every time I step to the line, I still get a little bug in my stomach because I'm eager for that dog to win, and I know it's 50% him and it's 50% me to do my job. So I'm very nervous to not let me be the factor that costs each dog. So just a regular hunt test dog has to have the natural ability to mark and to work with you and be a team player. But the Crown champion dog or just an SRS champion dog in general has to be more than that. It's a Super Retriever series for a reason, and it has to be a dog that just can't run the hunt test. It has to be a field trial dog. Also has to be your hunting buddy, because the dog has to do all of it. And the biggest part of it, it has to be a team player. The dog needs to be able to do its natural job, but at any moment, if I tell it to do something different, flip a switch and let me tell it. And that will be the dog that ends up being a Crown champion.